Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik and this is the Game War in the Pacific Advanced Edition, and this is my play by email match against KilRoy. KilRoy is the allied player and for me it is the Empire of Japan. Same setup like with Jochen. KilRoy is allied one day and scenario 1 is the base setup for our turn or match. Also with realistic A&D, and the player can define the upgrade path of the air wings. Good, so this is now the third turn, I think, of this war. So the 10th of December. The big strong invasions are over, so it will slow down slowly. Here are some of my, or at least one of my subs find a Dutch AP loaded with some equipment, and it's sinking. And my light cruiser formation trying to hunt down this torpedo boats, but it's always a little hard to get rid of them. They are too fast and in the darkness hard to hit. So maybe... So I can cross the T, all my guns can fire, but so far I know the motor torpedo boats, they have only front guns, so it doesn't matter if I cross the T. If I really can hit anything, we will see. Okay, one I can find. Second is burning, so, and this is maybe often also dead. I mean, this kind of ships, they have only one hit point. So maybe one is at least dead and the second likely. And this is my heavy cruiser scout hunter formation, and I find here some light cargo ships, so nothing really but can fight back. But every dead enemy cargo ship is a cargo ship less can transport ammunition, supplies, or troops, fuel, whatever. My ship's getting experience. It's a win-win for everyone. I mean, at least on the Japanese side. Everyone is fine with this, but no troops on board. Yeah, but of course, the allied ships, they all may be trying to escape from the Philippines to go to Java or wherever. And I have the task to find them and kill them. And not consuming all of my ammunition in too fast sessions. So I arrive already north of Rabul, taking this smaller base on the way with some small detachment. Ocean Island also. Ooh. One squad gets destroyed. So there are still some Australian units. KilRoy was not able to save them so fast. I mean, Ocean Island is nearly impossible for the Allies maybe to get the units out. It's also too risky. Rabaul and nearby bases is maybe possible with transport airplanes. So here's a cruiser mine layer, small cruiser line layer, and is now nearly dead or already seen. Like a cargo ship. So I bring all my submarines here in this area because it's typical that Allied ships try to escape here. And I only try to hurt as much as possible and damage most of this and slow them down. But here's also a Dutch submarine finding one of my light cargo ships. So it's not that I lose nothing. My cargo ships also will die. Torpedo attack but failed. But it's already heavy fire, so I don't know if it's really necessary to attack again. More important is here's a tanker. Tankers are always nice to hit. They're burning. It looks like this is an empty tanker. My submarine tried to really kill this one with 5 torpedoes. A little overkill, but so it is empty. Normally, if it's had fuel or oil loaded, you have this information that the cargo is burning. But in this case, this is maybe an empty ship. But it's dead. Here's one of my other cargo ships. Now it's getting a little seriously. But no fire at least, but still heavy damage. These are my support destroyers, so I think they are all minesweeper destroyers. And I hope I can get rid of 1 or 2 more of these motor torpedo boats. But they're really hard to hit. But 2 are burning. So again, 1 sunk and 1 shell hit. So slowly. It's a very slow progress. Here this is the same cruiser formation sunk some cargo ships just before in the night. Now I find the enemy destroyer formation with heavy cruiser and light cruiser support, so that is maybe more even better. Oh, it's okay, not heavy cruiser. So it's a Boise, the top American light cruiser here in this area. And luckily I have heavy cruisers. So the Boise's armament can normally not damage my heavy cruisers, but I can damage the Boise with my guns. So if there's no crazy torpedo attack of the Americans, then I can maybe hurt this formation. So again, you can see 6-inch shell hit, but no penetration, only surface damage most of the time. This is already the second 8-inch shell hit on the Boise. American destroyers, and every destroyer I have at least, I think, 5 or 6 torpedoes. So, and 1 lucky torpedo hit here is often already is setback for my forces. So again, 6-inch shell hit, but only surface damage. Not even fire. And the Reuter, the Reuter is maybe good for convoy hunting, but not really for fighting. Sides destroyers are without real impact here. The range is maybe too far for destroyers to have a bigger role to play. But this is already the third heavy shell hit on the Boise. Most of these shells are all no hits, so. But it's hard for the destroyers. What else? Their main job is normally to cover their own heavy capital ships and trying to maybe damage enemy line, but so this was a 5-inch shell hit, the same what the destroyers have, but it has no impact. The Boise is immune against this kind of shell, so it need to be an 8-inch shell hit, like now again, this is number 4, to really have impact. So this is hit number 5, but so far they're all structural damage, so they're creating fire and system damage, but less flooding damage. This was now an engine hit. This will slow down the Boise, and this makes it normally more easy for everyone else to also create hits. And one of the American destroyers also was now unlucky. And Boise hit again, but too only structural damage on the surface, so maybe the fire getting more worse and more system damage, but it's always important to normally have a belt armor penetration and then flooding or engine something to slow down the enemy ships. This is have more impact in the long run. So 2 destroyers are burning already for the Americans. luckily these Americans, they have 3-inch shells, so this is meaningless. This is I don't know how many shell hits you need with a 3-inch to sink a destroyer. So 3 destroyers on fire. But my stuff, yeah. The Japanese commander make now the decision. I think I'm low on shells. At least one ship is low on shells, so then he will give the order to prepare to disengage. Now it looks like that half of the Allied force is already on fire. I mean, this means not that anything is sinking here, but it will lower the combat abilities of all of these ships for the coming turns. So far the Reuter was very lucky and not get any hit. This was the first hit on the Reuter, but again 5 inches really only good for anti-destroyer and cargo ships, but not really a warship. My scout cruiser have also only destroyer armament, so 5 inch, so it is good for maybe or enough to fight enemy destroyers. But I wish I had here a little more firepower. This is still so early in the game, and all of these task forces are heavily related to the setup, how the war is starting. So it's not maybe my favorite setup. In the future I will maybe recombine this task forces and have something more like my choosing. It's not totally bad. I mean, 3 heavy cruisers plus 3 destroyers for escort and 1 light scout cruiser to find enemy targets, and it is working. Often also the commanders you must change. At least for battleships, carriers and heavy cruisers, I often change the commanders and see how aggressive they are, how skillful in navy or air. And then you need a task force commander to support all abilities and all skills. Still no torpedo hit on both sides. there's a 4-inch shell hit me, but cannot penetrate the armor deck. But I can land a 5-inch shell hit and penetrate the belt armor. But yeah, with damage. So now also the allied force or task force 1 disengaged. And if both task forces one normally breaks the contact, then it's not more much time left. Still no torpedo. But I am able to make one more hit on the Boise. Penetrate the armor deck, but no damage information. So 5-inch shell hit, and also not able to penetrate the armor. Far away, 26,000 yards is unlikely that you hit anything with this range. At least not so small ships. Maybe if it's a battleship to battleship engagement, 26,000 is still possible to hit each other. But yeah. So for me, it's all light shell hits, no fire on my side at all. For the Allied, this is now the Boise is on heavy fire, heavy damage. At least one destroyer is also dead. And 2 more destroyers are on fire. So outcome in favor for me. A tactical victory at least. But also, yeah, KilRoy's ships are mostly still intact. With only really the Boise and one of the destroyers is maybe lost. The rest he can maybe still save. And I am out of ammunition, that for sure. Now we get the scouting. There are still ships in port of Manila. Looks like there's a tanker reported be hit by one of my scout torpedo bombers in the AO. Maybe, maybe not. So, Also a lot of allied scouts still in the air. So KilRoy will know where I am. Yeah, if it helps him. At the beginning, the positions of the allies are simply a little over one and hard to react maybe for them. Yeah, bad weather, of course. So the Durban is still here in the coast of Borneo with some destroyers. Mine is trying to hit, but 7,000 is maybe too high. I must maybe go lower. It's also dangerous. Higher flag losses. Luckily my carriers are nearby. I move them out of from Mersing. So I can maybe now get a hit on the Durban. Maybe. Oh yeah. At least with my dive bombers. And magazine explosion. Okay. And the dragon is also still here. So now dragon also have armor penetration and double hit. There's double both have penetration. Number 3. 3 hits is also for a light cruiser maybe starting to get seriously. This was a belt hit but no belt penetration, so. But no torpedo hits, and this is often critical, and now there's no speed more left for this light cruiser. But the vampire can escape my dive attack. And torpedo attacks on destroyers are always so low chance of success. So Durban is dead. Already one confirmed kill. Yeah, that's enough. So Durban is already for sure dead, and the dragon is now with one torpedo hit and heavy fires and heavy damage and far away from Singapore. I think also very likely to go down. But the destroyers, Vampire and Vendetta, both escaped the Justice today. Some zeros, I mean it's really only a pair of them. I try to sweep the Clark field to make sure that if my bombers are coming in and one detects the airfield later on, that there's no cap fighter left. Problem for me is I can damage here all these P-35s and P-26, but damage will not get rid of them. It's only a question of time they are back here in the skies, and then I have to fight them again. So no kill for me, but I can get rid of the cap, at least today. Same with Manila, but it looks like there's really not much left. Now now I try to attack these ships in the port of Manila. But yeah, not possible. Here is Omar, I don't know. It is light cruiser, heavy damage, but not more on fire. So it was able, the Allies was able to get rid of the fire, but still very slow and heavily damaged. And then I don't know which port KilRoy tried to find to escape here. For sure, he cannot go to the Pearl Harbor to the east. That is still too far away. So maybe Surabaya is the destination. But if you make only 1, 2, maximum 3 hexes per day, this will be a long journey. My support bombing strikes without impact. Typical support strikes in China. Everywhere a little. And if I hit everywhere a little, then at the end of the turn it's still maybe enough to have impact. Here in northern Malaya, I try to, this unit is moving, it's normally going to Singapore, and I try to slow it down. But it's jungle, and I don't really expect too much, so compared to the amount of bombers attacking here, the casualties are light. Okay. AO, but this is this mini AOs, and don't ask me how, but this AO have a flak gun or a gun hit my bomber in 7,000 feet altitude. So the most skillful gunner in all of the Dutch Navy maybe kill one of my nail bombers. Unbelievable. So I have something to pay back. So now this most successful gunner is maybe not more so healthy. Especially because the ships are burning here. So they are loaded with fuel. And here is this PG's Surabaya. So this is this heavy patrol ship, but against torpedo, it's still slow, so it's very sensitive or easy to hit by with the torpedo. More of the AOs are full of cargo, full with burning cargo. Surabaya is dead. and one AO go down, and the second AO. So this was a successful torpedo attack. Nothing really big. Surabaya is a bigger ship, but also very slow and short range. And it looks like that there are some P-40s nearby on cap duty. So if the question is where they come from, and I would say they must come from Jolo. P-40s, they don't have normally the range. So, or some base here nearby. Porta Princesa is too far away. So one of these bases have P-40s, let's say this. And my Betty is of course, they are Betty. They don't have any ability to avoid, escape, or fight with this Deceptors. So KilRoy is still messing up with my forces. It's not that it's a completely one-sided show. And every Betty and every pilot I lose, I don't have later more. So again, now more tankers are burning here. A little payback for my lost 2 Betty bombers. But I see one tanker. So one tanker and this one tanker is now also dead. Two cap fighters still over Clark Field. Both are only training airplanes or outdated airframes. I mean, P-26 is a training airplane and P-35 is, at least in this game, outdated, I would say. But no kill again, only damage airplanes. So now in the afternoon, I report a hit on the Vampire with my Navy bombers. That would be nice. Here also a hit on the motor torpedo boat. Yeah, believe it. Maybe second hit. And there's a carrier in Singapore, if you believe this pilot. And many, many more ships still to hunt and kill. And Catalina is maybe dead. So less eyes looking at my ship movement. Enemy float plane attacking my submarine. Not nice. And here are many airplanes one strike, but they cannot find the target. Strike on Vendetta is again without scoring any hit. Unluckily. But 7,000 feet against the destroyer is maybe too high. But I have my carrier airplanes, and this is maybe with more success. generally dive bombers are the better tool to hit anything like a destroyer. And here the Vendetta at least get a hit in penetration. Vampire escape again. So only one hit. One hit is not very often enough. So one heavy fire for the Vendetta is a good start. But the vampire dodge all other attempts. And KilRoy is still trying maybe to escape north to Ceylon with some ships. Ships, these are all motor patrol ships, boats, not only one of them, so or two. Okay, there was two of these 1-point ships. But Jochen also striking still against my landing forces, and I have here some Oscar 1Bs and some Pete support fighters. And so long there are no enemy cap fighters, maybe the Pete can do something. But of course the main interceptor and cap fighter is here the Oscar. The Pete have also, of course, only very basic pilots, but the Oscar 1Bs are all normally the top army fighters of the Japanese Air Force. But only damage. Now we have the rest, or the last one, tried to escape, and again, no successful strike against my landing forces. This time without a cap fighter, so I bet these can maybe do something. No, you cannot find and hit the target. Yeah, my light carrier force operating here in south of Mindanao. I find here some American destroyers trying to escape from Marina port, maybe going to Surabaya, Java, and my dive bombers finish them off. They're already burning and slow, so easy picking. Only one destroyer. Okay. So no real big air battle today. More or less only for me the necessary cleaning and hunting of enemy cargo ships. I lost one more cargo ships. This was a cargo ship that had this Dutch torpedo hit before. And now I'm landing in Mersing. I use again 2 battleships to support this invasion, or this hold, soften up enemy positions. Only light losses for me and moderate losses for the allies. And yeah, you saw that we had the air battle over Mersing, so there was some Dutch bombers already coming. And I'm using my Kuantan airbase to simply provide air cover. And now I'm already arriving at Rabaul. So invasion of Rabaul also happened at the same day like Mersing. Pushing forward and try to be a little more quick compared to the Jochen game. So this is the follow-up attack on battle from Kuantan, the turn before, or the turn, I was able to take Kuantan and I sent my fast tank forces to hunt down this running British Malayan forces. And I was able to destroy 1 unit, but the second unit is still maybe in the hex or escaped. I'm not so sure, I will see at the end of the turn. But there's really not much forces left. Easy victory. San Fernando is also without resistance. This is the second invasion after Iba was my main landing point. Now San Fernando is the support base. No real battle here. And somewhere in China, a victory for me, but on paper it was a victory and I take the hex, this is at least. The Chinese are running, but I have 54 disabled squads, so you can see the losses are equally high. I mean, more, of course, for the Chinese much is all destroyed, but at least I also have to rest my unit and because I must get my disabled units back, because a disabled unit can still defend but not attack. So I lost also 54 attack value. So Brunei air base is running away. They don't want to give up. But at least this operation was working without any impact, or against me at least. So now is Lingain. This is bombardment. So I moved from Iba some forces to the east to also cut all of these forces. And this bombardment at least have minimum impact for both sides, but at least no negative impact. Here in Rabaul you can see that some of my forces are already on the shore, but I have now a similar attack value like KilRoy, but it's still not enough now to normally attack. I need maybe one more turn to get more units on land. This is the first, I would say, failure in my land battle in China. So you can see it's a 1-to-1 official, but somehow the losses are clearly against me. So I even have 3 destroyed squads and 62 disabled, so this unit is at least out of action for a little longer. So Ocean Island is no issue, there are only some engineers. Still some disabled units, but at least only disabled. So the turn was at the end nothing We had some navy battle, and the navy battle was in favor for me. We had some air battle, but it was very typical. The land battles are all okay. At least two of my land battles I had heavier losses than I expected. Most of the battles are in favor for me still. But of course, this is the first week of the war. You must be successful with nearly everything what you are doing now, or you make something wrong. So we arrived at the 11th December, and the air losses today was, I would say, very balanced for both sides. I lost 4 betties in total. This is painful, but and the rest is mixed. You can see most are operational losses. Ship sunk. This turn I maybe first my Japanese, so I lost the one small, really small cargo ship. Doesn't matter. And the standard cargo ship also no real impact, I would say. It's if I want to lose ships or if I must lose ships, this kind of ships I can give away without a worry or be sad. The Allies lost the official in this turn, so 2 light cruisers. Durban, normally what I miss here is the other British light cruiser, but maybe 2 light cruisers are sunk this turn. Tanker, this is the Soabaya, this is this a little more heavy patrol gunboat, destroyer, killer, whatever you want to call it. So more tankers and some AOs, but these are already very cheap ships. You can see 4-point AO. So the capacity is still too small to be important for this war. So high numbers of ships sunk today, but the value is really only maybe it's the top 4 ships. So maybe 2 light cruisers and 2 or 3 tankers with meaningful impact for the future. So in China it is still early on, and I have to move stuff in Manchukuo. I need still maybe at least 3 more turns to really organize some reinforcements out of Manchukuo. So I move only what I have immediately at the front, and I try to get this main railway links from Manchukuo to Shanghai open, and also to Kaifeng, that I can reinforce these locations with fresh troops, air force, and get the center clean. Here in the north, you can normally I will avoid to really hunt here or send too many forces here in the mountains. This will slow you down. I normally won't get mainly this forces out. Have the railway open, the main way, the highway open, and then take in Anyang, and then maybe taking these 3-4 cities in the center is maybe the most important. Here in the source is also similar. I try to clean up all of the forces east of Changsha, but I will not push for Changsha. Changsha can be successful, but it can also backfire, and I want maybe play it a little more safe here. My forces arrive in Hong Kong, so next turn we have already the Battle of Hong Kong. So maybe in the first week of the war I take already one important city. Burma is no activity, I don't push for it. Malaya is also nothing really changing, so you can see that here we had the battles. Both of my tanks forces are now. Normally I had this unit on pursuit, but you don't have a guarantee that it's working, and in this case it was not working. So I can now move both tank units in normal move order to Telmu and take the base and maybe cut this railway, or at least cut the railway. Not that there's much I can really cut, so there's only one British force trying to escape. But once I take this base and I can maybe open this railway, then I can save some time and rail down units. The 15th army is still coming. No, not here. The 15th army is already in. I first sent the 15th army to Bangkok to make sure that there's, because at the beginning of the war here's a British force in Victoria Point, and if the Allied player wants, he can move this unit and maybe interrupt here the railway line. So this can happen that if you have your units in railway strategic move and you're not in a base, then they sometimes move flipping out of the move order, and then you can lose time. So I would know if there's any unit that can interrupt and intercept your movement, then I better go from base to base. Then it's normally not happening, and more easy to handle if it's happened. So landing and immersing was more or less successful. I bring 350 attack value here. I must still unload more supplies, but I will normally take, hopefully, immersing already next turn. And then I can bring some tank units to the west, and then it's not more really likely that much of these units can escape to Singapore, but it still needs 3 more turns. Take the base, then walk to the west, block the railway, and best take also Malacca to make sure that simply it's impossible to move anything from Malaya to Singapore. My subs trying to block here everything, and with some success, but well, we saw here some carrier activity or actions. My carrier fleet was here, well, on duty, and I was able to damage or sink 2 light cruisers, and also damage 1 more destroyer. But now I miss any, there's no location information more. So here are 2 ships, but this is maybe not destroyers, maybe cargo ships. So wherever I lost the detection, so maybe next turn I can find them again. And here is also the big hunt. Submarines trying to slow down every shipment. This is how all this force is going to Java. My cruiser formation here, we had this battle with the Boise, and I'm completely out of ammunition. So that is the reason why the commander also say breaks contact, try to escape. So you can see returning to port to replenish ammunition and fuel. So even if I want, this task force will simply not more engage enemy units. But I have more. I have a cargo or a carrier division here, only a very lightly, but still 1 dive bomber, 1 torpedo bomber, and 1 fighter squadron. So everything I need to slowly but steadily kill enemy shipment. So the invasion of Mindanao is also still ongoing. I bring more forces from Palau Islands and slowly reinforce here my position so that I take Mindanao at the same time like we fighting here in Luzon in the north. Compared to the Jochen game where I say I take first Luzon and then I go to Mindanao, I try to do here at the same time. Because at the beginning of the war, the Philippine units are simply so weak. But if I give them 2-3 weeks to rest and reorganize, then they're getting stronger. So even if I don't send many units to Mindanao, it's maybe enough to simply get rid of the Philippine units before they can reinforce their positions. Yeah. And last big impact was here. I was Kaifeng and Rabaul. I lent both some forces. This is only very small stuff. And there was a force, but now not more. So I don't know. Maybe this is because maybe KilRoy just used his transport airplanes to fly out this force in the moment I lent. I am not so sure, but looks like, because it's a landing battle information, there was still an indication that there are some Australian forces here in this base, but now it looks empty. And Rabaul have still some forces left, but it's maybe not enough to really battle with me. I have here not much attack value, but more is coming. More is coming. 2-3 more amphibious assault units coming in the next 1 or 2 turns. So I must maybe wait 1 turn to unload a little more, but in 2 turns, latest 15th of December, I will attack Rabul and maybe take it. Good. Nothing really else happened. So I only make a short look on the air losses again. So 173 to 30, so it's nice kill ratio, but I don't have any ace so far. So I have a lot of pilots with 4 and 3 and many have 2 and 1. Yeah, good. Thank you all. Take care. Bye bye.